In January 2019, President Muhammadu Buhari signed the Executive Order 007, known as the Road Infrastructure Development and Refurbishment Investment Tax Credit Scheme. Owing to the poor state of roads in Nigeria and insufficient funds to build new ones and also maintain the existing ones, the government approved the scheme, and it is geared towards opening up opportunities for investors to finance infrastructure development in the country, especially road infrastructure, with their tax credit.
The scheme, which is mostly referred to as Road Infrastructure Tax Credit Scheme, is a PPP intervention that enables federal government of Nigeria to leverage on the financial muscle of the private sector to fix this road. In other words, for purpose of clarity, it's not as if we are going to borrow money from the private sector. It's not as if we are telling the private sector to come and build road. It's not as if federal government says build and operate this road. No, you have future tax liabilities. You know that I'm going to pay 2 naira tomorrow. Why don't you come together? Use 1 naira out of the 2 naira due tomorrow. Fix this road. Get tax credit from FIRS so that when your taxes are due, you don't necessarily to pay again. You have something to tender, legal tender instrument to provide to anybody that the tax that was due to me, I have used it to fix this road. So in the course of your income tax return to FIRS, this credit is given to you.
Private sector operators and companies that are liable to paying income tax to the federal government to spend that tax in advance. So your tax for next year or 3 years' time, bring it forward and invest it in infrastructure. That's really what the tax credit scheme is about. But it was not an order at large. It also then gave a window, a freeze, to ensure that you don't spend all your tax income ahead so that the country is not short in future. So it limited how much you could spend. And what this has done has been really, really tremendous. So from Obajana to Kaba, to Apapa, to Oworonshoki, those are 2 important roads. Apapa-Oshodi-Oworonshoki was the gridlock point, really, of our biggest port, and by extension, the whole economy. So we're nearly done with that 27-kilometer road, building it with concrete. That road was built in 1974-75. So that's the road that evacuates the port from Apapa through Mile 2, Oshodi, Bagada, Oworonshoki, Ojota, Ibadan, Oyo, Ogbomoso, or Sagamu, Benin, Ore, either way you want to go.
The scheme has recorded some landmark achievements, creating job opportunities for the citizenry and linking areas which hitherto were inaccessible for appreciable economic gains.
Bonny is our biggest gas processing island in the country, but you can't reach it by road. So that is going to happen next year. It's almost finished. It's a 49-kilometer road comprising about 3 major bridges and 10 small bridges. So we're almost done. That's the place. There's a bridge across the Opobo Channel. Opobo Channel, if you remember Nigeria's history, was where King Jaja once reigned. So there's so much nostalgia in me every time I go to inspect that bridge, because I read about King Jaja in primary school as a young history student. And just connecting with that place is an enormous privilege for me to be in charge of a project that adds value to King Jaja of Opobo's territory. And it's so nostalgic for me every time I remember it. So, but this is what taxes do. And I can't even tell you the number of jobs, the people employed because of that initiative.
On Thursday, 8th December 2022, the Executive Chairman, Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, Muhammad Nami, joined the Group CEO of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited, one of the investors in the Road Infrastructure Development and Refurbishment Investment Tax Credit Scheme to inspect the Bida-Lapai-Lamabata Road, which is being reconstructed by the NNPC under the scheme. The road occupies a strategic place in connecting the north and south with regards to haulage of petroleum products and storage depots. As such, it was a delight to the traditional leaders to receive the two chief executives on the inspection exercise.
This road we're just sitting by is a federal road and is very, very economical to all aspects of transportation within Nigeria. From Lagos through Ilori to Bida, Agaye, Lapai, up to Abuja. And from Abuja also, you can either go right into Abuja or you go left to Kaduna, Kano, and all other places in the north. So this is a very, very important task before us here, which the federal government is actually squarely addressing. So we thank Mr. President for this effort.
The chief executives were delighted that the project is positively impacting the people and communities along the road.
We must give credit to Mr. President and Commander-in-Chief of Armed Forces, who first and foremost signed the Federal Executive Order number 7, which enabled NNPC and other institutions that are of commercial nature to utilize their tax obligations to create infrastructure in our country. If we didn't pass that Executive Order 7, we will not be here, we will not be intervening. And by this special order, and also I would like to thank my brother, the Executive Chairman of FIRS, Nami, for allowing us to participate in this process, enabling us to invest up to 621 billion naira at the first phase of road intervention across the country in 21 federal roads, totaling over 1,800 kilometers. This is just one of them. We will deliver them. By the time we are done, there will be extensive improvement in infrastructure, particularly road infrastructure in our country. We are not stopping at this. We are also going ahead on a phase 2, which will also enable further over 1 trillion naira of investment by NNPC in road infrastructure. And we believe that this intervention will bring change to our country, will bring infrastructure close to our people, and also enable utilization of tax revenues appropriately in a manner that will benefit every one of us in the country.
Some stakeholders in the road and petroleum sector associated unions were present and appreciative of the effort. The FIRS and NNPC chief executives were further briefed about the project, and questions arising in the process were answered by the project handlers.
Mainly for this section, for instance, is just the marking of the roadside. Once it's done, the road will look very, very nice. So that's basically what has happened. Because of the good funding, the job is moving steadily and we don't have any issues with our contractors. Thank you. We come back to check specifications, quality assurance, quality control, everything that we continue agreement reached. We are also usually on site periodically, at least every week we have a physical night to monitor what progress is being done on site, what is being done, and then we report back to them. So our table is actually the final table of certification. Any work that is not done according to the contract is not being paid for. So we actually ensure quality is given as at time. So far, so good. We have been having cooperation with
With regards to maintenance of the road, the Federal Ministry of Works plans to toll it.
We are going to provide weighbridge check to breakthroughs will be made to pass through the way, particularly when you are suspected to have been overloaded. And SS low and then pay the appropriate fine. So we are going to prepare the road for our because it's an investment that is coming back all the time.
Another part of the visitation exercise to the road project sites being carried out under the scheme was a visit to the Lagos-Badagry Expressway, Agbara Junction, Nigeria-Benin border. The 65-kilometer expressway is being rehabilitated and expanded under the Road Infrastructure Tax Credit Scheme by the NNPC. The Road Infrastructure Development and Refurbishment Investment Tax Credit Scheme is making an impact on governance as it has gone beyond mere experimentation.
We are beginning to see how government is expressing itself and using the revenues that are coming in judiciously. We are beginning to see a well-funded military. We are beginning to see more infrastructure being built. Unlike in the past where promises were made and not delivered, like the second Niger Bridge, we'll be hearing of it from 1999. But now we can see it, we can touch it, we can feel it. And it's only made possible because of the taxes that we have paid. So if we continue to pay our tax and pay regularly, we can only have more and the nation can be better off.
So to taxpayers, pay your tax. That is your contribution to helping to lift people out of poverty. That is your contribution to creating a shared prosperity. That is your contribution to creating a nation where everybody feels included and inclusive. So contribute your tax, declare your tax as the Constitution says you should, and pay what you owe and be a part of building this nation.
And from the FIRS, we continue to say, it pays to pay your tax.